Hey, I'm Vincent Smith, and I got something in the mail today I've been waiting on for a couple weeks to replace maybe something I bought a while back and showed you. So you remember a while back I got tired of shopping online for a belt, and I ran down to the 511 store and bought a belt. I bought here, let's get you down here a little bit, and you can see I bought this belt that we talked about before in this video. Up there, the little thing will pop up. I've been pretty happy with it. I've been wearing it for 2 months and a week now. Let's take a look right here. I still got the Raven Concealment Vanguard 2 carrying Glock 27. Remember the last time we did the horizontal test. Now you can see right there, and I'll put up the shot here side by side. From when I originally shot this video when this belt was brand new, and I'll show you how much the sag has changed on it. I think it's, yeah, you can see there, it's not quite as, it sort of depends on where you grab it. You know, if you grab it all over here on the side, the buckle's got a lot of weight. It's got a lot of momentum on that to pull it down there. And I don't remember exactly where I held it last time, but you can see that I think it's lost a little bit of its stiffness in 2 months and a week. So I had a couple friends and actually a couple viewers that told me I should try out the NexBelt. So that's what we've got here. Just came in the mail today, and I am going to be extra careful cutting this one open because I sure don't want to put a hole in the darn thing. May actually just tear the thing open. Well, I have never had a belt come in a carrying case before. I'm not real sure why you'd need a carrying case for a belt, but I'm not going to complain about that. That shows they care. And I had, like I said, I had 2 personal friends as well as some viewers tell me that I really need to look into this NexBelt. Read up on them online. It was actually one of the belts I was looking at. Nothing else in there. This is the black EDC 4.0 and 38 millimeter. So I had been shopping for the NexBelts before I bought the 511. I just got tired of shopping online. And this comes with a wrench and 3 set screws. I'm pretty sure we're going to find out what that's for here in just a minute. And as I recall from watching on their video, this is a belt you have to trim to fit. So that, yeah, it comes with a sales ad. All right, so they've actually packaged a plastic sleeve around the buckle so that it wouldn't receive any damage, I guess, from other parts that are shipped with it, because, I don't have any problem with that. I mean, that's a pretty good thing to do. This is a ratcheting belt. You can see this thing, it comes pretty darn long. I mean, this thing actually wraps around my waist. Let's see here, I wear a size 32 pants, and this wraps around my waist almost 2 whole turns, about 1 3/4 turns. And you can see here on the back of this, it has it feels like plastic. I don't know if that's plastic or nylon, but it's all dead dinosaurs at some point. It has these little notches in here that allow you to slide it into the buckle, and I'm not smart enough to know how to exactly. It just slides. Nope. Had it right the first time. So this slides into the buckle from this side, and if you listen here, you can probably hear it. It's going to start ratcheting. Hear that? So you just slide that in when you put it on. You just slide it into wherever you want it to fit, and I cannot pull that back out. So I'm imagining here when you need to remove the belt. Not real sure how to take it off. Maybe I should have read the directions. That's not directions. Well, anyway, we're going to get there. We're going to figure this out. Oh, there it is. It's got a little trigger on it right there. It doesn't have it on the side I was looking at. So when you're actually wearing this, depending on which way you wear it, left or right-handed, You just push that little trigger down and you can see it. Let me get you a little more light on that. Let's try this. You can see this little trigger, it raises that pawl, P-A-W-L. It raises that up to where you can pull the belt back apart. And then the other end of the belt is going to go in here. You can see the two holes here for the socket screws that showed up here. And so that's going to go in here. And this little door here's got this little door here has some teeth in there. They're going to grab a hold of that belt. And when you cinch that down, it's going to be a pretty firm, closure. I don't think I want to do that until I'm actually closing it, purposefully on the size I've trimmed this to, because it looks like it might be pretty hard to undo once you do that. Not impossible, just pretty hard. And you can see here on the back of the belt, it's actually marked. Now I'm going to go online and watch some instructions before I actually do this. Actually, maybe these are the instructions right here. Only use EDC labeled buckles when carrying a firearm with this strap. Add 4 inches to your pant size and cut on the dotted lines. Okay, so if you pick this thing up and you wear a size 32 pants and you come down here and you cut this son of a gun off at 32 right there, you're going to have a belt that's 4 inches short, because according to what it says right here, add 4 inches to your pant size. So I'm going to wind up cutting this thing off at 36. Now, let's just finish looking at the rest of this thing before we go off and start cutting it. Yeah, so far I like that belt. The tip here, they've actually sewed in a piece of leather-ish material. I can't say that it's leather. Can't imagine why they would put some real leather on a belt that's a nylon belt. I don't think that'd make much sense. So it's probably a piece of nylon or some kind of plastic there, and they've actually sewn that in, as well as it almost looks like it's been kind of trimmed or melted in, because this is a 2-layer belt. They've trimmed away the top layer here to fit inside this trim piece, and I like it. Don't know for sure how it's going to hold up. The stitching on the back is very flush and tight. It is stitched down each side. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but it's stitched down each side there. What looks like the full length of the belt. Now, the same as with the 511 belt, there's not a tag or a single spot on here that I can see where you'd hide a handcuff key. Now, to you and me, that doesn't really mean a whole lot, but there's a lot of law enforcement officers out there that might like to hide an extra key on them somewhere. And there's a lot of non-law enforcement officers that might want to do the same, I guess myself included, because I keep complaining about it. But yeah, there is not a spot on this belt to hide a key or a $50 or $100 bill or anything like that. That'd be a good improvement next belt if you're watching. I do like the buckle. I like the looks of the buckle. I tend to go for a buckle a little bit more like this that has what I would call a harnessing point, whereas, yeah, maybe this isn't actually a harness, but I tell you what, you got in a precarious enough spot and you need to get hoisted out of somewhere, I guarantee you'd snap a carabiner on there and let them pick you up. All right, so I actually laid this around my waist and held the buckle up and made sure that I was getting ready to cut this where I wanted to. And yeah, the instructions, which are right there on the belt, are correct. Depends on how much you want your belt to stick out past the buckle, but for me, that 36 number is the magic number. And I'm lucky enough to have a pair of these. If you don't, I suspect you could do this with just about any kind of razor knife. You just want to make sure it's cut nice and square. Because if it's not nice and square, it's not going to fit in the buckle all that well. So now we're going to make darn sure I get this in here the right way. So we're going to slide this in. Remember those little fingers there we said we didn't want to close until we were ready to do it at the right time? Well, this is the right time. So you snap that down. And that makes a pretty firm attachment already, but they've also included in here some set screws. And maybe that's the instructions in there. You know me, I'm a guy. I'm not really so much on seeking out instructions if they're not right in front of me. And they did include an extra set screw. I think I read about that on their website. They included a wrench. They included, there it is, include a Q code to get the instructions. But it does say right here, add at least 4 inches to your pant size and cut strap. Your first cut should be longer. You can always trim down further. Yeah, but like I said, I dry fit it around my waist. Slide the strap into the clasp. Make sure the strap is tight against the back of the clasp before closing. Close clasp. Install screws with wrench provided. Install screws after finding your perfect size. Do not over tighten. I always think it's interesting. They tell you don't over tighten it, but they don't tell you how tight enough is. So I'm going to save that extra little set screw there in the bag just so I don't lose it. And there is a little dot of Loctite on these set screws. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not, but that's a nice little, yep, see? That's why they send you an extra one. That was very well thought out to put the Loctite on there for you. And we'll get them both started before I tighten either one of them. That's just something my grandfather taught me. Get everything started before you tighten anything, unless there's a reason otherwise. These look to be stainless screws. I guess they could be chrome plated, but if they're chrome plated, they were plated after they were threaded. Now, anytime you get an item that says do not over tighten, you want to do most of your tightening with the Allen wrench in this configuration, because you'd be surprised just how much torque you can get onto something when you spin that Allen wrench around the other way. And if you can't get it in 2 threads in this orientation, you probably shouldn't be tightening it much more than that anyway. And this one didn't go all the way down in flush like that one did. You can see this screw here went down just under flush. So I'm going to have to spin this Allen wrench around this way. Now remember, when you do it this way, you get a lot of torque on that son of a gun. So you don't want to overdo it, because all you're digging into there is a nylon belt. You're not trying to set the barrel on a howitzer or something here. All right. Now you can see this gets a whole lot easier to put on now, because you're not holding everything out in the air. And then when you want to take it off, you just got to remember where the trigger is. It's going to be, you just got to remember where the trigger is when you want to take it off. It's going to be up underneath the belt. So you want to reach under there and pull that away from your body. And when you do that, I guess you do it with this hand. And there you go. So let's spin you up here a little bit. Let's try this on. Yep, I definitely need a belt. My pants were falling down just while we were making the video. You slide it in, and you can actually slide it through the belt loop as you tighten it. And you just pull that to tighten it up. Yeah. Actually, it looks a little long right there, but keep in mind, I haven't installed my everyday carry yet, so that when you do that, I don't know about you, but I always loosen my belt up just a hair when I put that inside the belt. Yeah, there it is. So if you loosen that, see, now I've got that loosened up. Put that in there, tighten it back up a little bit. So it might still be just a hair long, but I don't mind that hanging out there. I don't think I'm going to lose much weight. I'm probably going to gain some, if anything else. As far as comfort, yeah, it's a belt. I've never been one to really say one belt's more comfortable than another. What I do like, and you saw me just do it there just now, is I do like that you can, you know, if you're just walking around every day and all of a sudden you go, oh, my belt's a little bit loose, you can just grab it and there you go. It's the exact tightness you need, because with the typical belt, with the belt holes, you can only adjust it in 1 inch increments or whatever increments the holes are along the belt. But with this one, every 1/4 inch, you've got a ratchet. Your pawl has a catch every 1/4 inch on there. I like that. But let's do the test. As far as the belt is a little easier to take off than the EDC, or the 511. Let's get you up here and we can take the horizontal test. So that's about where I was wearing it. Okay. Not as impressed with that as I was with the 511 when the 511 was new, if I remember right. Don't remember right off the top of my head, but I don't think it was sagging down quite that far. This is going to do the job. Don't get me wrong. You know, for someone like me, I'm not carrying, 6 pairs of handcuffs and a taser and a firearm, and a backup firearm and magazine containers and all those things on my belt. All I'm carrying is a pistol on my belt, maybe occasionally a magazine holster. That is going to do the job just fine. Remember, it depends on where you grab the belt relative to the buckle. Now, if you want to do it this way, you can see it holds out there pretty straight when you grab it by the buckle. And to be fair, here's the 511 when held by the buckle, but you can see I'm rotating that buckle quite a bit. Now, if I hold the buckle completely vertical and hold the NexBelt buckle completely vertical, and NexBelt's got a couple inches on it. I sure hope that's in frame of the camera there, but you can see this is the 511, this is the NexBelt. And then if you grab them on the side, this is the 511 over here, and this one's the NexBelt. Now, keep in mind, this has been worn for 2 months. So you gotta give 511 a little bit of handicap on that. Almost forgot the most important test of one of these belts is you want to check your draw. So there we go. Does the job just fine. This is not the type of holster that you reholster the weapon while it's still in your belt. All right, does the job just fine. That's about the best I can show you. I'm going to wear this for 2 months and come about, I guess that'd be early February, mid-February. Look for another video for me on comparing these 2 belts both with 2 months of wear on. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe down below. Leave a comment down there if you've got another suggestion for a better belt, what you're wearing. Let me know. Thanks for watching.